Hi, this is Dr. Vasu Brown. I'm going to start my Budtender certification class and online. This is an online e-magazine. It's called Nobody's Business Club. Nobodies business business dot club. So I'm going to give you guys a general introduction to this program, the cost, and other details I'll specify later. And the purpose is just like how we have a receptionist who would allow people to come in and introduce the office and let uh, people who come in to feel comfortable and stuff. Bartender plays a very significant part in medical cannabis world. And these are people who are entry-level position, trained in understanding how to introduce what's available in the medical dispensary in the cannabis world, and also to help a patient and work as a patient coordinator, and to even in retail industry to help buyers get familiar with different strains. So I'm going to go over um, each topic. So if in case you guys do want to get into the Budtender business, this would be a best way to understand all these new terms. And the Budtender positions are available in different farming facilities which grows medical cannabis. And once many licenses are being issued, right now the licenses for 35 is approved and the 90 dispensary is going to open. But most of the dispensary depends on farming um, facilities who will supply these trained staff and also plants that's grown in this facility to be dispensed by a medical dispensary. And eventually, when it becomes recreational by July in Massachusetts, there will be opening that would allow to get into these entry-level fields, which will be a very nice way to start your medical cannabis career. And we offer online webinars, and it's very flexible schedule, and each hour is spent with us is one credit unit, one education credit unit, and which would be accredited by American Academy of Health Professional in Addictive Disorders. And you're allowed to do 1 year internship with me. If you're interested, we have very nice staff, so nice software. We can train you so you can run your own Budtender business. So I'm going to go over step by step because this is like 100-page Budtender tips chapter, which is available online. So I'll go over so you guys would be more familiar how to present it. And if you do want to get certified, the Budtender certification would also involve understanding all the local regulations and how to get involved with the Budtender field. So I also registered the domain name budtender.tips. That's another way you can also get into the website. So what this chapter, like you see, there are 94 pages on the bottom, right? So I'm going to go over the first few pages so that you can self-pace yourself. So we're going to go over what is the language the Budtender uses when people come in, what it is that we are looking for when people enter, and what's the smell of the cannabis called. It's called terpenes, which creates that aroma. So when you understand the aroma, you will present it according to the name. The name is based on the aroma, which comes from the terpene release, the oily secretions the plant secrete. The plant secretes these oily secretions, interestingly, when the plant is stressed. So the stress creates that terpenes because the plant is saying, okay, I'm under duress and I need to flower so I can make more seeds before I die out. So essentially, it is to stress the plant that creates the aroma, which in the long run is what creating the medicinal benefit. So the tips on terpenes is the topic, and the terpenes are like the fingerprints for the plants, like how we identify a person by a fingerprint. Terpene, which is the juice the plant secretes to keep the insects away or to have a defense mechanism, creates that specific smell around the plant. So we need to learn the language of cannabis by mastering the effects and aromas of terpene. That's the agenda for this section of the book. And the whole book, if you need to buy, it's called Budtender Certification Program, and it's available for $50, and the course is $100. Half of the book is available online, so I'll let you benefit whether you are getting involved with the course or not. And if you do want to get a job, then it'd be prudent to get certified too. So terpenes and cannabinoids, terpenes acts like a fingerprint. They, by smelling terpene analysis, you can see the same terpene can have different names. So the cannabis strain going by different name, having the same terpene profile or identical. It doesn't matter whether you're calling them purple, gorilla, blue, or whatever it is, but if the terpene is the same, which is a limonene, which is like a citrusy smell, the effects are going to be the same. So it doesn't matter what name you call it. In the summer of 2011, there is a place in Los Angeles who the workshop they had a lab to test cannabis strains for terpenes, and since it began providing it to the medical marijuana community, the workshop has analyzed 2,000 bud samples for terpene content, and it found that different names had identical terpene content, which means what? Among the 2,000, only few are with specific medical benefits because they had different names. Like it's like in my shop, it's going to be called something, in another shop something, but actually the effects are the same. So the plant was the same. So when we train the bartenders, we actually train them in a wheel like this. It's called terpene wheel. So what it is to understand how the terpenes are grouped. So when a bartender presents the plants, they need to present it in three different ways. What is the nature of the plant, like and that is like the major grouping. And then what is the subgrouping, which is like in that, what is the essence of the juice. And then the last one is what smell it produces. So three different way you present. So what it is, the major category of the plants are divided into herbal, floral, earthy, spicy, fruity. And then the subcategories on each one. The spicy would have three subcategories, and the woody would have two subcategories, fruity would have five subcategory, herbal would have five subcategory, and then the floral would have four subcategory. And I'll go over that in detail later. Not in this video because I want to keep each video small so that it'll be easier. What essentially terpenes are like saying hello. The plants are saying hello. That you're walking down and somebody says hi. So you stop and say hi, and then you remember you met them there, and that's their name. Same way, when something smells an attractive way to our being inside, we have an encounter that created a pleasant memory in the past. So we want to understand who are you? And why do you smell like this? And then you then figure out, oh, it belongs to a jasmine family or gardenia family. And then you say, okay, I love this smell, so I want to know this plant more. Where can I grow it? What is the zone it grows in? So similarly, cannabis attracts our attention through the smell. And what the smell does, in addition, is if you go to a coffee shop, you smell the coffee, and then suddenly you feel each time you go in that pleasant experience you're going to experience in future by drinking that coffee that creates the dopamine surge. So terpene creates that entourage effect, meaning like it goes and announces to the cell, hey guys, watch out, I'm going to send you in this So you will feel a little calmer. So the whole our being gets in preparation, ready for this effect. So that's what the androgen effect is about. And their actions, they have multiple actions, but five major category in terpene exists. So I'm going to go to that so that it'll be faster. So the first one is to work on the respiratory system, the alpha-pinene group. And the linalool group is more floral type, like lavender type, and that actually is very calming. Alpha-pinene, because it stimulates the breathing, it allows us to be a little bit more focused. So this is the group most of the people who want the head to be focused would be focused on. Linalool, on the other hand, because it's calming, it's very good for the nighttime strain. Beta caryophyllene, it's a CB2 receptor stimulant, so it actually works in the brain, but similar to calming the body, calming the brain, and also it takes away the craving. So very good for addictive people. So beta caryophyllene is one of the things I focus on as addiction specialist to get people off drug addictions. Myrcene is a strain very good for body aches and pains. So it's very healing for the body. The mercy is the focus of people who have fibromyalgia and body issues and pain management issues. Limonene, very good for people with gut issue, inflammatory bowel disease. It's anti-inflammatory, and that way you get more support. And it also has anti-cancer effect, antifungal effect, antibacterial effect. That's why remember they use citrus um, strains for dishwashing, so you could kind of understand how it works, right? So you can potentiate some effects by doing another thing, like nursing. They found that there is a major distinction of nursing between indica and sativa, and they found it had a higher nursing content in indica versus sativa, and that's why the body calming effect exists. So the terpene determines the work of the sativa indica. So it's actually what is in there creates those. Whereas alpha pinene in sativa is indirectly the reason people get very anxious. That's because it activates them a little bit more. So people who don't like um, too much activation, too much excitement, prefer not to have that alpha pinene strain um, in their what is it called, box of tools, so as to speak, to calm themselves down. And mercy, the other thing is it is also present in mango. So they found by using a substance that has high myrcene content, mango is one of them, but there is also myrcene in lemongrass. So when you eat that, like half an hour to 45 minutes before, and you do the cannabis, they found that the effect of cannabis is potentiated. So there is, like, the canoiser way, meaning like you can become an expert, a consultant by understanding how to work with terpene and the cannabinoids. So the terpenes works by the receptors, like it goes and modifies the receptors so the body is not constantly activated and overstimulated. So it brings down the stimulation. Like when you want to put your child to bed, you want to take away the TV, like turn off the lights, calm ourselves down. Same way, like by resetting the receptors on the cell wall and sending less signals in, the body was calming down naturally and it focused on what it needs to focus on. So essentially, terpene plays a part in that. And I think I'm going to stop here because afterwards we can discuss. There is like this is where the terpenes continue, and I'll discuss one by one each terpene, so you will become an expert on each. So for the first video, so in the magazine, go until 17th page. So this video is to capture the first 17 pages, and we will keep creating different videos, and I'll email it to you all. Okay, and if you do want to get involved with this course, then email me at EHR, that is energetic health, rejuvenation, MU staff, mutual usage staff, STAFF at gmail.com. EHRMU staff at gmail.com. And you can become part of my internship program, and I'll train you so that you can train others and develop your own program. Have a good day. Love you.